I've made 65 quid today, and that just is not enough. So I'll probably have to work Friday night as well, and maybe Saturday to try and make that up. I'm just another player in the gig economy, and it's hand to mouth on a month-to-month basis.
The BBC are making a new documentary series. If you're working and finding it a little bit difficult to stay afloat, they want to hear from you.
On the rails, delays and cancellations.
New documentary series on the real story behind working Britain. Call us.
If you're in work and fighting to stay afloat.
Last year, local radio stations up and down the country played adverts, asking people to phone in if they were struggling to make ends meet, despite having a job.
We've got nothing in the bank. We haven't even got a pension.
We're doomed.
Calls came in from all over the UK.
Working absolutely stupid hours.
Frequently, skint on payday, month after month.
Salaries or 2 paychecks away from disaster or being homeless.
I can't afford to keep living like this.
Many asked not to be identified.
Please don't tell them who I am.
But some wanted to share their stories.
There's just a massive gap in there between living expenses and what you can actually earn. And nobody should have to be doing 2 and 3 jobs just to feed the kids.
We followed 9 families for a year as their financial futures hung in the balance.
I must have been doing about 120 hours a week.
I don't want her to work as hard as I do. Hell no!
Being broke is not the same as being broken. So what does just about managing really mean for millions of us from all walks of life and all over Britain?
I've just got to keep going. Keep buggering on. That's what Churchill said.
Oh, that's a big one coming up. Bill, you're going to get flooded.
You're actually quite on the edge here.
I'm living the high life, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, see that come close? Bloody hell. I don't know. Yeah, most people would be sitting indoors chilling out right now.
6 months ago, Steve and his 22-year-old son, Billy, were both working full-time and shared a home. Now Steve's lost his permanent job and the accommodation that came with it, and they've ended up living in tents on the beach.
Dad, do you think I might have to move soon? That's as far as it's going to get, the tide's going out. That's it, mate, it ain't going to get up any higher than that. The waves get bigger, it will, but at the moment it's right.
Steve's on a list for a council house in Hastings, but demand is high and available housing is low.
What they put down, that we're in Band B in need of extra space, is what they put down for us. I think we've got enough space right out here. It's ridiculous. So what you have to do to be in Category A, I don't know.
Winter's coming, and life for Billy and Steve is about to get even tougher.
Storm Brian has arrived just in time for the weekend. We have some very strong winds to contend with.
A storm is due to batter the south coast, and finding a safe place to shelter will need money.
Yeah, but the conifer needs to get a hedge trimmer for that.
Billy can earn up to £200 a week assisting a mate who's a tree surgeon, but his hours aren't guaranteed.
Yeah, well, I'll find out about getting stuff and then, that shouldn't be a problem.
Grape pickers required, must be hard-working, motivated and committed. Join our team for approximately 4 weeks' harvest.
With the unemployment rate in Hastings higher than the national average, Steve's finding it difficult to get a job.
I'd rather go to see one of these agencies today, get the arse in gear so I've got a job start for next Monday. Yeah, love.
A recruitment agency may be the best chance Steve has to find a full-time job.
I'll just come and see if there's any chance of getting me a job, like.
So you're local?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I don't actually live somewhere. I've been living in a tent at Pet Level on the beach with my son in another tent. So, and the council don't want to house us. They don't care
Why
us.
don't they want to house you?
They say it's not a priority because, you know, because I'm an older person, I've got no dependents.
But you've got a child?
He's 22 years old.
Oh. At this moment in time, we've got some positions for industrial cleaners. It's temporary work, but especially in your circumstances at the moment, if you go for a permanent job, they're going to say, well, where you living? And if you divulge too much, they're going to go,
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Flying discs. Dinner plate.
Finding work without a fixed home address isn't the only issue. Even living in a tent on a beach doesn't improve Steve's chances of getting a council flat on the Sussex housing lottery.
There's thousands and thousands of people who are bidding on the house, and then they wheedle it down to who's the most vulnerable 5, and then they each go and look at the property, and then you've got a top band as in A for people most wanting. Woman and child, she's going to get in the top 5, you know. Someone mental health issues might get in the top 5, I don't know, refugee might get in the top 5, someone that's at a higher state of vulnerabilities. I've been a local for 47 years, and I'm classed as not as important as a refugee because he's come to this country and he's had hardship and he needs a place straight away, sort of thing. But I don't resent them, not angry at them, it's not their fault.
Hi, I was just listening to your advertisement on the local radio station. We don't own the house that we live in. I don't have a penny of savings. So I don't want to be a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination. I would just like to be comfortable and know at the end of the month we're not looking for money to put in the electricity meter or pay the council tax. It's a struggle. It really is a struggle.
My rent's £415 a month. It takes around 3 weeks to earn my rent. I borrow money from my parents, my friends, my siblings. My friend fills my freezer for me, make sure that I have food. I don't know how I'm going to survive these next couple of months. It's really hard to say this all out loud.
Over the last 5 years, Cambridge has seen the highest rise in rental prices in the UK. Renting a double room in a shared house can cost over £700 a month.
Right, how's this get set up?
17-year-old Tyrone grew up in a village not far from here. A year ago, he left home after his relationship with his mother broke down.
The night I'd left my mum's house, I'd popped in to see one of my mates because I was literally I was an emotional wreck. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I've just left my parents. And they went, where are you going? I went, I'm going to Cambridge. And I went, no, you're not. You can stay here for the night and we'll give you a lift up to Cambridge in the morning.
Tyrone has got a job at McDonald's, but because he's under 18, he struggled to get housing benefits. So he's been moving from place to place, sleeping on friends' sofas and trying to stay off the streets.
I lived in a caravan trailer for maybe a week and a half. And from there, I lived in the bungalow with a disabled woman. And I was there about 3 days. When she'd asked me to leave, Tom said, come home with me. I said, come home with me, put a roof over your head. I'm always worrying where I am going to be sleeping. That's probably the thing that scares me the most.
For the past 3 weeks, he's been living rent-free with his co-workers, Tom and Steve, while he looks for a room to rent.
Hello, my name is Tyrone, and I'm just ringing about your advert on Gumtree. If you could give me a ring. I can't afford a flat, so at the moment I'm looking at just a room. I went to a place yesterday, just a bedroom and a private bathroom. I thought, this is amazing, I really like this. And he was basically like, I want £1,000 in deposit. So I'm thinking, how do I get that money quick enough? And then he wants £500 straight away. So he wants £1,500 up front. There's people out there who can afford that. Me, on a daily rate of £5.35 an hour, working at McDonald's, it's not possible to even afford a place like that. If I was to move away from Cambridge, I'd lose my job, but I want to stay in Cambridge. And the only way I can do that is if McDonald's give me £10 an hour.
£10 to me would mean a lot. I wouldn't have to be worrying about where I am going to be sleeping.
Tyrone is on a 0 hours contract and earns £5.35 an hour, over £3 less than the UK living wage, which is calculated by an independent commission and is based on what they estimate people need to maintain a decent standard of living. Unlike the minimum wage, employers are not obliged to pay it.
Well, came up to me at work the other day.
What was it you said to me in the...
I was serving a customer. My voice went really squeaky. The customer laughed. I went, sorry about that. Went over to Steve, asked for certain fries, and it did it again.
Can I get 2 small fries, please, or something like that?
I think you said, can you go through puberty twice? And I actually tried to give him like some heartfelt, like, it's okay, it only happens once. Everyone's voice breaks every now and again.
Let's change subject. Yeah, I can say. This week I requested Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all got declined. But I've asked for every available hour I can get, and I'm still getting nothing.
Okay, that's the problem. Like, you're in a 0 hour contract. Like, even if you complain, even if you say, I want to work more hours a day, you have no obligation to do anything about it. That's why we have the campaign to scrap 0 hour contracts.
Tyrone knows that his arrangement with Tom and Steve won't last forever, so he's determined to find a room of his own soon and not end up on the streets again.
Just going to the bench that I stayed on when I spent 2 weeks on the streets, and I didn't have anyone there for me. I was going into work smelling, and the council refused to help me. This is the bench. Slept on this bench. It's ridiculous. I owe Tom and Steve everything. But the thing is, I've got nothing to give to them. I reckon if I lost Tom and Steve, it'd break me. Like, I haven't got anyone as close as them two.
When you got it in your head, if I overthink it way too much, like on a night, I won't sleep at all. I spend a whole night up thinking about it. Like that one wish now, which I'll never get, which is to see my mum, just to give her a hug.
Sofa surfing mainly affects young men. Falling out with parents is the main reason.
So-called sofa surfers don't even register in the official statistics.
Falling through the cracks of government records, the hidden homeless, those who sofa surf at the homes of friends and family. The number living in temporary accommodation has risen by about 2/3 since 2010.
MPs called it a national crisis.
I was playing football. Okay, great. I was playing football. Lovely. Angelica.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yesterday I was cooking.
What did you cook? I see no one brought me any empanadas. Where's my empanadas?
Angelica was born in Ecuador. In her late 20s, she moved to Spain to look for work with her ex-husband and 2 children. But after the 2008 economic crash, she lost her job. She's been working in London for the past 7 years and is now part of the migrant population that makes up 1/3 of the capital's workforce.
Mira, esto me llegó también, no sé qué es. Lea,
María
lea.
Angélica Bolaños, exitosamente has ganado un año del curso de la ESO de Entry 1 con este nivel.
Angelica rents a 1-bedroom flat. But to make room for her 18-year-old son, Angel, she's had to convert her living room into a second bedroom.
Nos sostenemos los dos. Él es ahora actualmente el que me da valor y yo también.
He's studying full-time to become an accountant, but also has to work to support himself and his mum.
Me hubiese gustado que estudie nada más, pero es la situación económica que él tiene que trabajar por la madrugada.
La bendición. Chao, mami.
As well as studying English all day, Angelica works night shifts in London's richest district, Kensington and Chelsea. She's a cleaner at a luxury car dealership where a sports car can cost £300,000.
Se entraba a las 6 de la tarde y lo que más sorprendente es que venden coches tan caros y nosotros pues ganamos un sueldo tan bajo.
Angelica works with Freddie. The two cleaners are not employed by the car dealership, but by an agency who pays them £7.50 an hour, nearly £3 less than the London living wage. Like the UK living wage, it's not legally binding. Employers can either choose to pay it or not.
No éramos prohibidos tocar los coches. Que era inglesa, pues ellos iban cada día a sacarles brillo a los coches. Por hora ganaban 20 libras. Mi compañero aquí del trabajo me dijo, vamos a un sindicato.
Adiós. Hasta mañana. Bye, bye.
Y pues mira, ahora por habernos inscrito en el sindicato y por pedir el living wage, el sueldo digno, que es 9.75, entonces nos han suspendido.
Following a dispute about hours, Angelica and Freddie have been suspended without pay and have asked for help to fight for the London living wage from their union.
Hello, good morning. Buenos días, Petros.
Petros set up the union in 2014 to support vulnerable workers and pressure companies and job agencies to pay employees a fair wage.
Qué impactante, o sea, no me esperé, van y estás suspendido tú y tú.
Entonces, ¿qué se siente mal?
O sea, me puse bloqueada.
O pronto o tarde, vamos a sacarle justicia, eso seguro, ¿ok?
He venido aquí al sindicato y tú eres el único que nos has dado ánimos y estamos en pie de lucha y dueños del mundo, podríamos decir, porque son poderosos. A una clina, pues no, para el sábado que vamos a ir a la protesta.
Angelica and Freddie's strike, two cleaners against a multi-million-pound company, will be one of the smallest strikes in British history.
Algo de nosotros tendrán que decir, porque la emigración es mano de obra.
No estoy haciendo, ¿sabes? Estoy pidiendo el living wage.
On the south coast, Steve hasn't been able to find any work, and tonight's forecast storm is imminent. So they've spent what spare cash they have on supplies to protect their camp. With nowhere else to go, they have no choice but to prepare for the approaching gale force winds.
This makes it fun, because you've got something to laugh at, because we know what's going to happen, it's going to go. That's the only downside. Hand up. Knackered. I'm not freaking out because I've lived by the sea a lot in my life. If it happens, we run.
We do.
Not good, is it? Severe weather warning.
So there was no yellow warning for tonight, no yellow warning for tomorrow, but there's yellow warning for Saturday, and it's already this bad today. My tents are barely withstanding this.
Shame, innit?
This is how close it came last night. It literally, what, a foot away from that? That's how close it's come to my tent. I knew it was quite close because I kept waking up and I kept getting a bit of water hit me on the face, but I thought it was raining. Obviously, it wasn't raining because my vent's open, where the waves were quite high anyway. It was obviously splashing down and the spray of it was hitting my tent, and obviously that's what kept hitting me in the face.
Because Steve's been unemployed for a week, he's got no savings and he's down to his last £80. So he's applied for universal credit, but he's been told they can't pay anything for 5 weeks.
I think the rollout of universal credit is the biggest disaster they've ever come up with. It's just farce, it's rubbish. Change over to universal credit is undoubtedly having a huge impact. ACM's food bank has seen an 82% increase in referrals, so we're seeing people at breaking point. People are desperate, angry, frustrated, afraid and worried. However, advance payments are available for those who need extra help. This universal credit is, as it says there, chaos, absolute chaos. It's a joke. They don't allow for circumstances like this, it's just wrong, it's wrong. It's totally wrong. It's a joke.
A new welfare revolution is underway. Universal credit merges a number of separate benefits into one. By design, all new claimants will face at least a month without payment. But it's not just people who can't work that are struggling. Even those in work are finding it hard to make ends meet.
Can't find my Rizzlers.
Weeks of sleeping on Tom and Steve's sofa is finally coming to an end for Tyrone.
Enjoy your new room.
Yeah.
He's found a room to rent in a shared house for £80 a week.
This will be like my 9th time moving in the last 6 months, and hopefully it'll be the last time. Go down cash machine, get the rest of my money out, get ready for paying the rent, and then worry about what's left. I don't have many options of places to go. I need somewhere fixed and start an actual life, because the life I'm living at the moment, going from place to place, is not a life that any 17-year-old should have.
Yeah.
Hi.
This is Willow. Just ignore her. It's going to get another carpet put on it. I am going to get the blind. My stepdad's going to sort it all out.
The main thing is I've got a roof over my head.
You have a roof, you've got a wardrobe, you've got chest of drawers.
Is it possible to get a lock for the door?
I'm having the door put back on. I'm just waiting for the man to put the door on properly, because the last lodger knocked it off. But it's fine, I can put a lock on it.
Yeah. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 150, 160. At least move 30 quid.
Tyrone has finally got his own room, but if he wants to keep it, he'll need a full week of shifts.
Buckets on McDonald's, they're not actually buckets. But I'm thinking it's because we're not allowed to accept tips, or people could steal money. I don't want to be accused of stealing money, so it's probably a good idea.
Being on a 0 hours contract means he might only get 4 or 5 hours work a week, not nearly enough to even cover his rent.
I want McDonald's to change. I want people to get a real living wage.
Bye.
Second, end of 0 hour contracts. Because with a 0 hour contract, they can cut the shifts. So you can only get 1 shift a week. They control you with a 0 hour contract.
A few months ago, Tyrone joined colleagues in a strike to push for an hourly rate of £10 for all staff.
When we striked against McDonald's, it was the best thing I'd ever done. Like, the feeling was amazing. So Tom and Steve organised the union before I joined, so that's how I got involved. Just looking back at it, like, just mind-blowing. I never expected me to ever do something like this.
When workers protested in 2017, it was the first union strike against McDonald's in the UK.
Hi.
Their actions persuaded McDonald's to pay a minimum rate of £8 an hour for all workers over 25. But given the average age of employees on an hourly rate is only 20, they're still fighting for workers like Tyrone to get fair pay.
I don't know many people who's fighting one of the biggest corporations in like the UK, and I am. I just want to show everyone that doesn't matter how old or how young you are, if you fight for what you believe, then you're going to get it.
Angelica and Freddie have been suspended without pay for the last week.
You know where it is, huh? You know where South Kensington is? Okay, we'll see you here.
They're threatening to strike until their employment agency agrees to pay them the London living wage.
Los pitos, ahí están.
Petros only put the call out to his union members 3 days ago, and over 50 people have turned up to protest alongside them.
Están hechos cargos estos, pero nadie se moja. Pero yo les dije que cuando lleguemos a una victoria va a ser para todos la cartera, ¿sabes? Basta de esclavitud, que ahora estamos en otro tiempo.
The courageous Freddie and Angelica, they're only two workers that are standing up to big people that can pay what they should be paid.
Que no se muevan.
We have the right to protest.
We called this demonstration today with 3 days' notice, and you can see how many people have turned up. I swear to God, we're going to be coming back here day in, day out. We're going to be going inside, we're going to be going outside.
Cada día de protesta de un trabajador es un día de fiesta.
As well as studying full-time, Angelica's son, Angel, also has a job as a cleaner. He works a 4-hour shift before college every morning and earns around £160 a week. Now his mother's suspended, they're relying on his income to survive.
When you wake up, you want to escape sleeping. I have to, because I have to pay my transport, pay my food. I need to help my mum, so I must go to work.
It's 8 a.m. and Angel's returning home from work to get ready for college.
¿Te hago el desayuno, leche?
No, gracias, ya vine comiendo de allá.
This morning, he's got some positive news about his mum's strike action. She's made the national headlines.
Mira, estás famosa.
Dicho. ¿Qué dice?
Now, when we join a union and ask for a fair amount of money, enough to live on this expensive city, they want us out. Mira, mamita. It's very hard working and studying. When I lived in Spain, I did not feel poor. It was only when I came to London that I felt poor.
Hello, I'm Rachel. Have you been to a food bank before? First
No,
time?
first time.
So, this is a list of food.
Yeah.
So, milk.
Yeah.
Would you like milk?
Yes.
Yeah.
All this.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Tinned vegetables.
Yeah.
And pasta, rice or couscous?
Rice. Y estoy muy agradecida de la gente que está aquí. Que no me esperé que la verdad me vaya llevando cosas para comer para mi hijo. Ha habido gente que en realidad sí se preocupa de nosotros. Ahora mismo, como estoy suspendida del trabajo, estoy corta de dinero, pero me emociono mucho porque hay gente que sí te ayuda. Y voy contenta porque llevo aquí comida para comer con mi hijo. Gracias.
The record number of food parcels last year has been handed out, according to the Dressel Trust. 1.2 million food parcels in this country. Those are people who are really, really suffering. If people vote Conservative again, is that going to carry on? And the answer seems to be yes.
Come to get some help with some food.
Hello, mate.
Mate, nice to meet you. I'm Steve.
We serve people at least 3 times in the crisis period, so we'd love to help you so you can get back on your feet.
Sweet corn, it's my favourite. I feel embarrassed about using a food bank, but if you haven't got the money, I can't starve, can I? I can't let my boys starve, so it's a necessity I've got to do. Cheers, mate. Thanks so much. Yeah, cheers.
10 years ago, around 25,000 people in the UK used food banks. Now, that number has risen to over 1.5 million.
I feel really bad taking this stuff. Someone else could have had this, couldn't they?
Why? We need it just as much as they do, mate.
No, but I've got money, I've just sold a
Yeah,
couple
for
days,
how,
I could have
Bill,
got this stuff.
Bill, for how long, mate? For how long? Don't just you know, get with reality, mate. I ain't got a pot of piss in. This is enough to let us have it, mate. I'm telling you.
Don't think I could have walked in there and got it myself. Because I'm 22 and I'm young, I shouldn't have been using a food bank, should I really? You know what I mean? I should be sort of supplying it for myself. But
how are you going to do that?
I've got money in my pocket.
Today,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm on about in the long-term future, mate.
Hello. I currently work, but things are pretty tight. And it's getting to a desperation point because I'm keeping my family with a roof over their head. I'd like there to either be more hours or more money, just so I don't have to panic.
I'm 52, I'm a single mum, I have a teenage daughter, I work part-time, and every month I panic about paying direct debits. I can't do things with my daughter because I can't afford to, so I think that has an impact on our relationship. I also get benefits, which they make me feel like I'm a criminal for claiming them. Fundamentally, at the moment, it's really, really tough.
You coming out for a cigarette?
Yeah, have you got a cigarette?
Yes.
It's been a struggle for Tyrone to pay his £80 a week rent. So he's moved back in with Tom and Steve.
Right, we're done. Let's go.
See you, Tom. Have a good day.
But this time, they've given him his own room.
Basically, I just put the camp bed. It wasn't like, couldn't go out properly, like completely. I kind of sleep like that. I only ever taken one picture when I was 13 with my mum. But it was on my SD card that was in my other phone that got stole. So I never get a picture of my mum.
What's this behind you?
Oh, it's my birth certificate.
So why did you get your birth certificate above your bed?
I don't know, I guess it's the only thing of my mum and my dad have got together, technically. It's my mother, my father. And I know I've never seen them ever together, but they're like, I've got my mum and my dad here, so if I have it over my head, it's like they're watching down on me. I mean, I got my wish now. I've got a room for myself, I've got a bed, and I've got a happy living space.
But just as Tyrone gets settled, there's more change. Tom and Steve's successful strike action against McDonald's has attracted the attention of the Bakers Union.
You all right, mate?
Right.
They've been offered jobs in London, and Tyrone faces the prospect of being homeless again.
Resigned from work today.
Resigned? As in?
Like, handed in our notice to Jamie.
What happens with where I go?
Obviously, you can't live here because you'll have nowhere to go. And the problem we've got is we're not, like, your legal guardians or anything. So, like, we're moving to London. You come with us. Unless you don't want to come with us.
No. I generally want to come with you guys. Like, you guys are my family, and I want to come with you guys no matter what.
It's going to be a bit hectic over the next few weeks, but once we're set up, it should be good.
Whatever happens, me and Tom will look after you. We'll make sure you're fed and watered.
Fed and watered?
You know, we need to deep clean the flat as well, so we get as much of that deposit back as we can.
And have a party.
Yes, that is the main thing.
It's the end of an era.
Ty, it would be desirable if you wrote up.
In a few days, Tyrone will be leaving Cambridge for good and moving to London.
Our new house is 4 bedrooms. One room is obviously going to be Ty's, but it's a really nice place. I think Ty's looking for work in like KFC or Burger King or something like that. It's just low paid jobs, so it's whatever you can find really, isn't it? So
I'm excited to go to London. Like, it's a choice I've made. I want to be with Tom and Steve as well. But in the later future, who knows where I could be? Could be doing anything.
He's handed in his resignation at McDonald's and said goodbye to his friends. But he hasn't spoken to his mother in over 3 months, so he's planning one last trip home.
The plan for today, hopefully, is I'm going to go down to my mum's, and hopefully get in contact with her and start talking to her, but mainly to say goodbye and that I'm moving on.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much from what you've said about them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
From what he's told me, I don't think it's gonna go very well. They probably won't answer the door. I know when he's gone before, they haven't.
Have you eaten? I'm right, I don't want nothing, mate. Sure. I don't want nothing, Tom.
It's late October. Billy's only working part-time, and Steve's not had a single job offer from the recruitment agency. They'll need money from somewhere if they're going to get off the beach before winter.
We've got to save up then. We've got to save up about 1,400 quid then.
Yeah. It's silly money. Silly money. What was it? A month's deposit in hand, and then you have to have a following month's rent as well.
Well, you've got to get a full-time job, Bill. A day here and a day there ain't going to be enough, mate. Because I can't do it on my own. I need to get full-time work. Jobs that no one else wants to do. Beggars can't be choosers. I just have to do anything at the moment. Absolutely anything. Hello? Yep, definitely 100%. 6 o'clock time or? I'll be there on the dot, mate. Bye. Cheers, mate. Start tomorrow night.
Start tomorrow?
Hopefully.
I'll come and help you tomorrow.
Just hopefully this time it goes all right and I get some money behind me.
In 300 yards, turn left onto Chapel Park Road. Steve's finally been offered a job delivering food 6 nights a week for a local curry house.
Which way am I going?
Right, this way. Listen to me.
I'm listening, but
you're
you're going left, right,
I'm not telling you where to go. Just listen to what I'm saying.
That's about 10 miles behind us.
Turn left onto Tower Road, then turn right onto Bohemia Road.
Is that? Yeah. It might be this one.
He's going to earn £160 a week, but won't get paid until Friday, so he's relying on tips to pay for petrol.
Couple of quid tip. If I take my time, sit back, go at 30 mile an hour, I do 6 deliveries in the night, and one person tips. I've earned £1 tip for about 6 deliveries. Where if I can get 12 deliveries in the same time, I've got another 1 in 6 chance of getting a tip, because that increases my chance of getting money for fuel.
In 300 yards, your destination will be on the left.
The curry house is out. It's 300 yards. What number?
Oh no, it's not. It's not. No.
Bill, you're stressing me, mate. I'm telling you now.
Hang on. It's St Mary's Terrace.
The ferry house is the White Rock, innit?
Yeah.
He's taking us to the ferry house. You're stressing me out, mate. Typing in the curry house's own address.
18 St Mary's Terrace.
Every job I deliver to is a chance to get a tip. So far, I've got £2 tonight to cover about 10 quid's worth of petrol off and burn.
All right, but chill out. You don't need to get so stressy about everything.
That's what I say to you, Bill. Just listen to what I say, mate.
You get
and I
stressy
won't have to
about
have a heart attack over it, will I?
No, you have a heart attack over the simplest thing.
You want me to do all the fuss off then you tag all the rewards that I've had to fill.
When we get back to the curry house.
All right, I'll tell you what,
I will. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will get out. I will get out because I don't appreciate what I do.
I don't appreciate nothing because you don't help me.
And you do everything.
Yeah, I can do.
Mine and my dad's relationship is very complicated because he's very stubborn. He doesn't like people looking after him or stuff like that. And yeah, and he always knows best, which is annoying. But I'm the only one that stayed with him. So the only one that stayed with him. And yeah, I think if I'd have left as well, we'd have had nobody, like no one. In the past, my old man's had some bad stuff happen to him. Like my mother, she cheated on him, God knows how many times, and then he got custody of me and my 2 sisters. And then all this stuff just spiraled, which led to him suffering from depression and stuff like that. He tried to kill himself a couple of times. There was no way I was going to let my dad come down to the beach on his own. You know, he's 50 years old. So regardless he calls you all the names under the sun half the time or I'm doing his head in, he's just going to have to put up with it, isn't he, really? Once he's got a roof over his head and he's safe and he's warm, then I can start cracking on with what I want to do. I hate fishing.
Hi, I'm 25 years of age. I'm a single mum. I earn £1 a month. My rent is £450 a month. Constantly wondering if I'm going to meet my rent. So one pay check away from losing everything. All I have is my house and my daughter, and that'll be took straight off me by the High Court if I fail to meet my rent.
Y estamos preparados para todo y seguiremos adelante como...
Angelica and Freddie have been off work for a month.
La pregunta es, ¿para qué ahora?
Sí.
Es de repente un problema. Acusarles y quejar de ustedes es por haber sindicalizado, por haber votado por la huelga. Y eso es la verdad. Es la verdad.
que es la verdad por eso.
Today, they've finally been granted a meeting with their employment agency. Their dispute may require legal advice, so they've requested Petros attend. After more than 5 hours of negotiating, they failed to reach an agreement, and their agency terminated the meeting. Although they'll be paid while they're suspended, their agency is still refusing to grant their demand for the London living wage.
Qué desilusión, ¿no? Y no pedir el living wage que necesitamos porque Londres es muy caro.
I'm just going to cut to the chase. Long story short, we got that suspension unpaid paid. They agreed to do that. The guy running the show got on and turned around and said, so that means obviously you won't be striking then. And we said, well, no, the points of the dispute which gave rise to the strike, i.e. their claim for living wage, hasn't been met. You haven't agreed to pay them a living wage, so the ballot is live and legitimate, and their right to strike is as strong as ever. It's as if they just presume that they've got some sort of security to fall back on, you know. Like, they can't fathom that they depend entirely 100% on their wages for their existence. You know, the idea that they don't have a bank full of savings or you know, family to prop them up, I don't think, honestly, I don't think this guy actually got that at all.
Señor Padre, damos gracias a ti, Señor, que hoy tenemos un plato de comida para servirnos.
Angel and Angelica have had to rely heavily on Angel's wages. And although Angelica will now receive back payment, the future is uncertain.
¿Tú de dónde vas a sacar los 900 para pagar el alquiler? Si no puedes ni pagar ahora, ¿de dónde vas a sacar ese dinero? Es que eso, yo lo que ya no quiero es que trabajes, man. Yo te puedo mandar dinero a España. Eso yo también quiero que me entiendas a mí. Uno ya tiene 50 años, ya yo 18, ya no cuides de mí. Yo sé que quieres seguir cuidándome, que yo ya me voy a instalar bien aquí en Londres.
Y yo nunca crecí con mi madre. Y yo nunca disfruté de mi madre. Y yo pues, ya que yo no pude ser nada en la vida por falta de dinero, porque éramos muy pobres. No teníamos ni para comer, pero sin embargo yo he venido acá, a este país, porque yo quiero que seas algo importante. Ya que yo no pude ser, mira en mí, por no haber sido preparada, y aparte de eso soy explotada.
Now both of them are working, Billy and Steve are saving some money and finally have a way off the beach. Steve's been offered a caravan to rent if they can raise £650 for the deposit.
It's going to be weird, isn't it? Because we've been here for 6 months. Can't wait. I can't wait. Just to sit with my feet up and watch a bit of telly. Really can't wait.
You're the one I worry about. Right. My job is full time, and it's that place has been there for like 30 years. You know what I mean? And Hastings established.
Yeah.
Your job's not guaranteed one day from the next.
No, my job's not guaranteed every week. But if it comes to it, then I'll just have to.
You can't pay the rent, mate. I'm on the road.
No, I'll be able to pay. I will be able to pay the rent.
There's a lot of things you have to do, Bill, but you don't do it.
Right. I better shoot off, and Dad.
I'll see you later.
I know what. Oh, God.
If Billy pays his half the rent, well then I'll be able to survive.
Bill's my big worry. He'd just go to work while it's working at the moment, and then when it runs out, he'd just say, "Oh, well, it's all right, Dad, I'll go and sign on," or "It's all right, Dad, I'll go and do something else." So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do worry about him. Billy's a worry.
It's been over a year since Tyrone left home.
Nothing's changed. I keep losing my breath and I'm a bit shaky now.
Today's his last chance to put the past behind him before he starts a new life in London.
Mum? If you can hear me, please can you open the door? I need to talk to you guys. If you can hear me, I've come to say goodbye. Right, I'm gonna go now.
I hope at some point in the future you'll be in contact with me. I love you. I've done everything in the last 8 months to try and make my parents proud of me. It's just so hard. I just want to say I love them. That's all I want to say.
After weeks of hard work, Billy and Steve have finally saved up £650 for their deposit and can move into their caravan.
This is the beginning of the end, this, isn't it?
Beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end, mate. Stay warm. I'd stay here.
I'm well happy I'm getting off the beach soon, but I will miss it, yeah. I mean, that is lovely, isn't it? Not often you can walk out your front door and see a view like that, is there?
Running out of time here, Bill. Well, I don't know what you're up to, mate.
I don't know what I'm up to.
Well, you don't seem to be like, doing a lot, do you? I've got work to go to, remember? Leave your tent up and store stuff that we can't take today.
I've got to take some of this stuff.
Take what you need tonight, shove the rest back inside. We've got to try and make this look tidy, Bill.
I need that. Need that. Need that.
It's quality. I'll push these two together. Then I'll be like this. And I'll get a telly on the wall. Oh, I live in the dream. Be loving it.
Oh, Bill, we've got all plates and bowls as well, mate.
Yeah.
We're like aliens.
What do you mean we're like aliens?
Well, it's like, we've never seen this before. What's this? Oh, that does that.
It's a stove. Cool. I've really got the short straw here. Look what he's got. He's got chest of drawers there. He's got everything, look. He's got his own like, walk-in closet. Fucking hell.
Been here 2 minutes and you're slagging me off, mate.
Look. Look. Look, isn't it? What can you do? Oh, I'm well happy. Oh, it's going to be pucker. It's going to be brilliant, this is. So I'm going to work hard to pay the rent each month. Because I don't want to go back to the tent, I want to stay here. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm well happy.
It's been 4 weeks and Angelica and Freddie have still not returned to work. So they're taking their protest for a fair wage back to the streets.
Right, we're just about to try and get to Ferrari showroom, and they're going to strike for a living wage, and we want to speak to the guy that did that. They sell the most expensive cars in the world, so we're never going to give up this fight.
After a few days, further protests and unwelcome publicity from the press, their employment agency agrees to meet at the union office to discuss their pay.
The principle of living wage is make sure that all of your employees, all of your workers are out of poverty, right? That is what being committed to the principle of the living wage means.
¿Verdad? Pues mira, hemos sacado buenas conclusiones. Ya nos pagan el living wage.
Eso, mamita. ¿Ves? ¿Cómo demoró?
¡Será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡Sí! ¡Mi amiga luchadora, revolucionaria!
Vamos a recibirles un aplauso a
Querida gente linda, preciosa, yo les agradezco.
They didn't just win the living wage for themselves. What they also did was win the living wage for around what we can calculate to be around 50 workers. So
The help we have been giving to those who are just about managing, we've taken 4 million people out of paying income tax altogether. We've given a tax cut to over 30 million people. We see record numbers of people in employment in this country.
The reality of a working people is lower wages and less job security, with in-work poverty now at record levels.
My tent finally give in to this weather. That ain't good. It's on its last legs, bless it. I'll leave that there for a minute.
My generation's definitely been given a rough deal from society yet. There's not much opportunities or anything like that out there. You've got too many people running the country that actually don't have the clue what's really going on. They just don't have the clue. Every politician that comes along always says the same lines over and over and over and over again, and nothing ever happens. They don't care about someone like me sleeping on the beach for 7 months. They don't care. That's what's wrong. Nobody cares. And yeah, sad, but that's the way it is. Actually, get with the programme, actually see what's going on and do something about stuff that really matters. You know, sorting the housing out and sorting, not just sorting everything out, because everything's I think something needs to happen. There needs to be a drastic change.